This is the spot. But no Emmerich. That man is infuriating. This complicates the situation. Let's talk. Emmerich isn't here, but he left behind a number of green serpents. For a man of his advanced years, he can still swing a powerful sword. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. I'm not an archmage, but I know my way around a spell or two. They must have had agents aboard as well, because I sensed a pulse of magicka before the storm hit. Whatever it was. Perhaps. I also understand that Amanos has protections in place to discourage scrying and portal spells. Between the two, it's no wonder the Magus Guild couldn't trace our medallion. Absolutely. Tamriel is... Perhaps. Absolutely. Perhaps. Absolutely. Emmerich isn't here, but he left behind a number. Emmerich is nothing if not reliable. Look at the way the dead serpents are laid out. Isn't it obvious? He left a trail to follow. It leads directly into the cave just up the path. Go ahead and look for him. I'll be along shortly. The poultices should have done their job by now, so I want to go back and retrieve Casca. We will want her strength at our side before this is over, and she needs to be nearby when you signal for the rescue ship. Don't worry about me. If I could survive the politics of Somerset, I can handle an inhospitable island. I'll retrieve Casca and we'll meet up with you in a bit. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. Absolutely.
You there! I'm begging you. There was a shipwreck. The others need help. Our ship was attacked by coral, I think. It just grew out of the waves, and I don't know what happened to the other sentry, Veslin, or the sea elf prisoners we were transporting. I woke up alone on the beach. The sailors and other jailers call that place the Coral Cliffs. I won't survive the trip inside, but you're an adventurer. You're my only hope of getting the survivors out. Another House Murnard ship expects us. Our prisoner exchange is overdue. I counted the footprints. Enough for each of the prisoners and Veslin. She's with them, mark my words. I just hope they're all right. Get Veslin and those ne'er-do-wells out of the Coral Cliffs. House Murnard will see that you're compensated. The Coral Cliffs aren't an area anyone wants to be lost in. Strange noises thereabouts. Makes me shudder. You find my fellow sentry and those prisoners of ours. Get them out of there safely. I need to rest my hurts before we move on from here. North. House Murnard has a larger ship waiting for them. We were tasked with taking the prisoners to the ship from Amanos Station. Their captain gave Gold and her word that she wouldn't attack Murnard's ship in return for her crew's safe return. One of the Breton noble houses. They govern Amanos Station and the prison stockade. The whole island is technically under their jurisdiction, but no one cares about the jungle. Well, except for the mines. Technically, other than the town, the entire island is a prison. They do something to the worst of the prisoners. Call it processing. Once done, they set them loose in the jungle and let them fend for themselves. If they leave the jungle, they die. I'm a sentry on a prison transport. I like to work all right. Sure, some prisoners give you trouble, but they quiet down after a few hits. Nothing bad ever happened prior to the shipwreck. There's something sinister here. I know it. Piracy may be the work of scum, but it pays well. This lot was lucky to be caught. Most pirates go down with their ship. I suppose House Dufort felt charitable when their patrol ship captured this bunch. Our ship held 15 and 10 sentries to keep watch over him. I only saw 6 prisoners and Veslin flee the ship before it was too late. I was the last to make it off before it went under. No, not as such. Though there's one who's friendly with all the others. Kyrysnia. She got along with everyone and even thanked me a few times for their upkeep. Didn't think anything of the chatter before. It sprouted from the waves like some curse from nature. Dozens of faces lost beneath the waves, prisoner and sentry alike. The lieutenant said the sea elves might act up, captain's bargain or no, but I have never seen one of them magic coral. This lot seemed congenial enough for pirates. Their captain paid well for their safe return, but taking a sea elf away from land? No, I can't believe they did this. Powerful sea elves make weather trouble. Not what we got. Not the coral.
Stay back! You're not one of those slimy druids. Who are you? I've got to get out of here. Why didn't I just drown in that shipwreck? They turned them into coral. Sunagil. Those Eldertide bastards turned him into this glow. Then they fed the glow to the coral. They said that the archipelago belongs to nature. That they were carving a balance between the natural world and greedy mortals. They brought us through the caves and up to the platforms above. Then they shoved us into cages. Veslin. She was whole when I escaped. I offered to help her, but she wouldn't leave the others and I had to run. I had to. I can't do anything. Not against the Eldertide Druid's power. But you can destroy their coral. The Eldertide sacrificed my shipmates to it. Those druids need to suffer. The coral is inside the caves, just down that hill. Make them pay. I'll give up piracy if you do as I ask. Smash the coral! Free the others, please! Right now? But... oh, all right. If knowing more about them will help you save the others, I guess I can stay in this place for a bit longer. They changed the coral into something unnatural. It stinks of druid magic and... blood. It'll look different too, if there's light enough to see. I'm not going to let them turn me into that. I passed by one a little while back. It should be down that way. The other corals are probably inside the caves. We could still hear our shipmates' screams from the cages we were locked in. They're the ones who should be locked up in the Amino stockade. They're not even supposed to be here. They corrupt nature. Even their magic does horrible things. It hurts, too. The way Sunagil screamed. Does there have to be a reason? Eldertide druids can corrupt other sea creatures, too. Urchins, sea stars, fish, crabs, that sort of thing. But the coral they corrupted here... it looks like the coral that wrecked the ship. They planned this. Anyone still alive will be in the cages above. Destroy the coral. Make those druids pay. You've just volunteered to be our sacrifice.
Over here, quickly. Thank the Eight you're not one of those druids. Hurry, get us out of here. The druids, they're using us to feed their coral. Screams! I don't want any more of us to suffer that pain. Please, please get this door open. Sergeant Brusick survived the wreck. The Sea Elves said he was as good as dead. They regretted leaving him there as soon as those druids locked us all up. The Sergeant and I take care of our prisoners. That would be Kyrisia. She offered to pick the lock on this cage, but I couldn't leave these two. Seeing the druids when they killed Suni Gil and the others, it broke their spirits. Kyrisia's many things, but she's not a liar. It's my job to guard the prisoners. I failed so many of them already. I'll not fail these two. If you open the door, I'm sure I'll be able to rally their spirits and get them out of here. Either pick yourselves off the ground or let me carry you. We're getting out of here. Sergeant Brusick's waiting.
You don't appear to be one of these green serpent ruffians. Shame. I was hoping to notch an even 20. My friend, what a turn of fate to meet you here of all places. I didn't accidentally banish you to Amanos, did I? No, of course not. I'd remember if I saw your name on one of those prison writs. But what are you doing here? Pray, tell. Lady Arabelle, you say? How is the dear woman? She and I have shared quite a few close calls over the years. But she only sent you? I assumed I merited at least a dozen knights or so. Ah well, I assume you have a way to get us off this damn island. Ah, you've seen Irene. And she's still alive? Good. Do you know, I was looking for young Ernskar when these serpents rushed out and tried to toss me in that cage. I showed them. But I think they may have captured our wayward Nord prince. I half expected to find our young Nord prince sitting atop a pile of dead serpents, but no such luck. Let's take a look around and see if we can find anything that points to where the serpents might be holding Euron's pup. Come to think of it, I also heard these serpents mention a captured noble. I suppose that's what whoever's behind this told them. No reason to reveal we're royals. Instantly raises the bounty. I really wish I'd taken one of them prisoner, though. That's a good question. Yoren the Scald King was invited, of course, but the official response we got out of Mournhold was short and sweet. His son would negotiate on the Pact's behalf. Not for me. I have heard that Ernskar is something of a royal pain in the arse. But aren't we all, to some extent? Perhaps Yoren is using this as a training exercise. If Ernskar doesn't make matters worse, maybe he'll learn something. What does a High King do? Everything and nothing, or so it seems some days. I lead the Daggerfall Covenant, I rule over High Rock, and I attend meetings. So many meetings. Any other questions before more of these serpents show up? Being the eldest son of a noble house, I was trained to lead, though not necessarily to be a king. My father sent me to the best teachers, I particularly remember studying under Count Ravenwatch, a brilliant man, and still a good friend. When Rancer challenged my rule, an alliance seemed a prudent course for a quick resolution. Luckily, it was still in place when the Empire collapsed. The Covenant represents a return to the ideals of the past, and I believe, our best hope for peace. Over my strenuous objections, honestly. I was Earl of Cumberland before King Gardner died. He dropped dead of the Nahartan flu, and suddenly I was crowned King of Wayrest. Haven't had a decent night's sleep since. That's a good question. Yoren the Scald King was invited, of course, but not for me. I have heard that Ernskar is... Look around. Ernskar was here before they moved him. I'm sure of it. Fights like a giant. That's the Scald King's axe. Let's find Queen Irene, shall we? All that dead lout had was this bottle of wine. Ugh! Sour. Is there no joy on this damned island? Yeah, if I were to break an ankle making this jump, Queen Maria would kill me. I'll go around and meet you outside.
Hero! If you had any interest in the sea, I would take you on in a heartbeat. Veslin told me what happened. Is it true that a few of those druids were enough to cause our shipwreck? All those lives lost at sea, how much harm can they do? How many more ambushes do they have planned? It makes a person reconsider their work. Oh, it does my aches good to hear that. We'll let House Mornard know what happened here. Spare others some pain. Veslin says you convinced at least one of them to give up piracy. You hauled more than was asked of you. Take this, with my thanks. House Mornard will hear about what happened here. The good and bad both. Druids turning the living into coral fodder. A fight between mortal life and nature? There's something strange happening here. But it's beyond my comprehension. While you were helping my prisoners, I got my bearings out here. We're not that far from Broke Rock Mine. I've made the run there a time or two in the past. We can make it there and get the assistance we need to make it back to Ammonos Station. Like I said, it's not too far. I've recovered my strength, Veslin is none the worse for wear, and my prisoners will help us defend ourselves. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. What happened here was out of our control. We'll make a report and get another ship to take the prisoners where they need to go. Mornard will see to the druids here. It might take some time, but the danger they pose won't be ignored. Not sure. Usually, if we avoid them, the Elder Tide druids leave us alone. This was out of the ordinary. House Mornard will need to do something, but I don't know what. I'm just a sergeant, but I'll do what I can to put a stop to this. She'll be angry, of that you can be certain. But the prisoners will tell her what happened. I suspect Kyrysnia will lead that charge.
It's not in my nature to give up my own freedom, and I'm not. Piracy isn't the only life out here. Veslin and her captain won't see trouble from us, and we'll fight by their side. We swear it, on the constancy of the tides.
Good to see you still well, Emmerich.
And you, Iran. Nice, cat. I say, friend, let's chat. I washed up alone, and now I'm surrounded by allies. At least, allies for the nonce. It's funny how fate can change in a moment, eh? Let's talk about the things we found in the cave. Right. Mentions taking their captive noble to the coin fort. That has to be Prince Ernskar. Ammonos used to be a stronghold for High Rock slave traders, but that was many years ago. There's a crumbling old ruin just west of here. A long time ago, yes. Not something the Covenant sanctions today. But you're missing the pertinent point. The Green Serpent Gang is using the old coin fort as a hideout, and they're holding Prince Ernskar there. We did indeed. There are songs sung about that weapon. Literally, Yoren performed one of them the last time we shared company. We must return it to the prince when we find him. Anyway, our course seems clear. We make for the coin fort to the west. Don't worry about me. I'll meet you at the coin fort. It's just west of here, if I remember my maps. I'll just spend the walk thinking about the choices I've made. A little retrospective. What does a hike... That's a good... To the coin fort. Shall we journey there together, Iran?
Casca will run ahead and clear the path. I'll make my own way there. I'll see you at the fort. Do try to keep pace with Casca, Emmerich. She'll keep you safe.
And she's gone. Again. Don't worry about me. I'll just take the long way around. I could use a nice walk.
That's it, my friend. We have all 3 keys. Now to go and open the vault.